Think again, Part 42. I've noticed a paradox in great scientists and super forecasters. The reason they are all so comfortable being wrong is that they are terrified of being wrong. What sets them apart is the time horizon. They are determined to reach the correct answer in the long run, and they know that means they have to be open to stumbling, backtracking, and rerouting in the short run. They shun rose colored glasses in favor of the steady mirror. They, the fear of missing the mark next year is powerful motivator to get a crystal clear view of the last year's mistakes. People who are right a lot listen a lot and they change their mind a lot. Jeff Bezos says if you don't change your mind frequently, you're going to be wrong a lot. Jean Pierre Bergwans has a favorite trick for catching himself when he's wrong. When he makes a forecast, he also makes a list of conditions in which it should hold true, as well as the conditions under which he would change his mind. He explains that this keeps him honest, preventing him from getting attached to a bad prediction. What forecasters do in tournaments is a good practice in life. When you form an opinion, ask yourself what would have to happen to prove it false. Then keep track of your views so you can see when you were right, when you were wrong, and how your thinking has evolved. I started out just wanting to prove myself, Jean Pierre says. Now I want to improve myself to see how good I can get. It's one thing to admit ourselves that we've been wrong, it's another thing to confess that to other people as well. Even if we manage to overthrow our inner dictator, we run the risk of facing outer ridicule. In some cases, we fear that if others find out we were wrong, it could destroy our reputations. How do people who accept being wrong cope with that? In early 1990s, the British psychicist Andrew Linne published a major discovery in the world's most prestigious science journal. He presented the first evidence that a planet could orbit a neutron star, a star that had exploded in supernova. Several months later, while preparing to give a presentation at an astronomy conference, he noticed that he hadn't adjusted for the fact that the Earth moves in an elliptical orbit, not in a circular one. He was embarrassingly horribly wrong. The planet he had discovered didn't exist. In front of hundreds of colleagues, Andrew walked onto the ballroom stage and admitted his mistake. When he finished his confession, the room exploded in a standing ovation. One astrophysicist called it the most honorable thing I've ever seen. Andrew Linne is not alone. Psychologists find that admitting we were wrong doesn't make us look less competent. It's a display of the honesty and a willingness to learn. Although scientists believe it will damage their reputation to admit that their studies failed to replicate, the reverse is true. They are judged more favorably if they acknowledge the new data rather than deny them. After all, it doesn't matter whose fault it is that something is broken if it is your responsibility to fix it. Actor Will Smith has said, taking responsibility is taking your power back.